So essentially, the concept I want to go with is this. So I have a bunch of furniture in my place that I want to replace. So I'm thinking, essentially, I give you a design challenge. You send me the design. I find a way to prototype it here and then just like try to build it and then report back to you with the issues. And then we iterate off of that. The idea that we have is to try to create an adult Lego set where we could just build furniture out of, right? Because we believe that that's the most environmentally sustainable way for the furniture industry to go forward, specifically because then people can just like augment their sets and dispose of pieces as opposed to whole furniture.
Right. Yeah, that's the main idea, I guess.
But I feel like this is a design exercise that we're going to have to do again and again. TLDR, we should start off by trying to refurnish my apartment and then take the learnings and continue to iterate until we're comfortable enough to essentially open up a direct-to-consumer brand.
I guess my idea was kind of similar to yours. Like IKEA is IKEA because of the body of work they have, right? We need that body of work, and like I'm like starting to work on some ideas, I guess, on my own. So it's kind of this idea of like I built digital doubles, you built the actual thing, right?
That's why I wanted to record this. I'm going to post this onto YouTube.
Interesting. Okay.
And then obviously you're going to showcase to me some designs. I'm going to get the file. I'm going to try to get it manufactured. I'm going to assemble it here. Obviously, we're going to go through the design process. I'm going to show you the finished product, etc., etc. I think going through that iterative process and then recording it on a YouTube channel, that's going to help us scale the business because we're going to be able to foster a community around the content that we're producing.
Yeah, and I'm imagining there's a lot of people who are very unhappy or confused about like, just like buying furniture in general. Like, what's the best furniture to buy to like maintain the longevity?
The whole reason why I was really reluctant to buy furniture for my first few apartments is because I knew that I had a lease and it wasn't my place. I didn't know how long I was going to stay in a single area. Right. So like the logistics behind moving, it was just too much for me to wrap my head around. So I didn't want to create bulk. The moving logistics, I just realized it's too much. But like if it's easily collapsible, I feel like for me, it makes sense for me to build up a furniture collection. If it scales with my lifestyle as I progress along life, and I could downscale it, and I could actually give it off as family heirlooms, as a starter set for my kids and whatnot. It makes sense for me to invest into a set.
Like something that you're going to kind of, I guess, carry through. You've been a student too, so you know this. Like the amount of bulk that we throw out every time we move as students, because we just don't know like what to keep, right? So going back to the basics of like, what do we need, right? Like everybody needs a chair and a desk, let's say. Like I'm not saying that they necessarily do, but like what's like the easiest and like fastest way to like kind of so that they could carry it around themselves without like having a helping hand.
The single thought that went through my head when you showed me your chair design last time, I didn't have a couch in my first few apartments because I wanted a dinner table. And I knew that if I moved, the dinner table would be easier to move or get rid of than a couch. So that's the sort of thought process that I was going through. Yeah.
I guess it's like a very similar sentiment that goes through everybody. And couch is one of the most expensive things to buy, right? In terms of like furniture. Because it's like you need it to be comfortable. You need the bulk and also just like expensive in terms of like internal kind of real estate, right? Which like we can't really do anything about. But nobody wants to buy that cheap couch.
Like, what would my place look like right now if I furnished the place with your aesthetic? I think
like what makes you think like it's something that you might enjoy in your house?
Specifically because your primary medium is wood, but overall, like in Korea, it's all concrete rebar. No matter how small the building is, all concrete rebar.
This is plywood. It's wood, but it's also like wood to imitate wood in a way. So
and it's not like they want the whole tree. You know how like in Korean they call it wonmok, which literally means the original wood.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, but people aren't asking for that. I don't want that on my countertop. I'm not asking for that much wood.
Yeah,
I'm asking for people to use authentic wood in a sustainable manner in my furniture So, and like I want it to be open pore, not like coated in some plastic.
I don't know if you know much about like the DIY movement. I mean, it's like back from like the kind of 50s, you know, like the anti, it's not like anti, but it's like it rose with the modernist movement, I guess. And it's just like this idea that like everything's so sleek, everything's manufactured, and then injection molding happened, custom steel. And, you know, there's this idea that people want to reclaim like their independence of like, oh man, this feels like it's actually mine versus like, oh, I bought this at a store.
I think it's highlighted by the right to repair.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I completely agree. So a big part of why I want to start this project with you is because I feel like, yeah, we are losing our right to repair.
If we make the frame sustainable, we can also just have a bunch of old clothes or something, or like old jackets, like fold it up, put it in, and then like put a cover on it, like and like staple it to the side of the chair or something, right?
Yeah, perfect. Because it's wood and you could staple shit to it. So I want to go a bit lighter. We're using these office chairs in the home office, but I don't like these office chairs because, especially in this tight quarter and at home, I don't know if it's that great.
Okay.
Especially for me, because I don't actually work that much out of my home. So I'm thinking maybe we could start off with a desk chair.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like the design that you had before. So I feel like we could start off with that.
Okay. How important is it that it rolls around? Because I've been like toying with that idea too.
Wait, no, wait. So wait. How have you been toying around with this?
Like, think about the chair you're on right now. Ultimately, like caster wheels, and we could literally just like drill a hole, put like a little like metal nut in there that can hold the pin, and it'll roll around. I guarantee.
Do you want to try it? I'm actually curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna test the caster wheel independently first. Like, what materials do we use to like, you know, move across carpet, wood, and also stone, because you know like Korea uses a lot of it. But I think like this wooden chair can adapt to have wheels. I feel like it can.
I'd be interested in trying because in my mind it doesn't make sense that a wooden chair would have wheels because I've never seen it in my life.
Yeah, and I think there's a reason why. Because like, you know, now chairs are divided into like types, right? When people buy, like the types are so important. Like, oh, I need it to be a desk chair, then it has to look like the chair you're sitting right now. Because it is ergonomic, but it's expensive, right?
Right. I mean, it's not that expensive here in Korea because this is actually really flimsy. Like if I lean this way, it bends this way. If I lean this way, it bends this way.
Man, yeah.
It's super flimsy.
Yeah, you want that security too, right?
Yeah. So, okay, experiment with it to prototype it here, and then we'll go back and forth trying to perfect this chair.
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
sounds
Okay, so that's our first project.